Hello, this is Dr. Ryan from NetworkMarketingDoctor.com. Here today to talk about home parties. Home parties is literally the most important asset we have in our entire skill base inside of network marketing. It's one of the most powerful tools to build a network marketing business. And if you talk to any big network marketing leader who's grown a large organization, every single one of them will tell you that home parties has such a critical standing in their portfolio of skills and tools they use to build an organization. And the best way to get a brand new person in network marketing started in this industry today is home parties. And there are a couple of reasons for that. One of them being, if you have a brand new person, the best thing to do with a brand new person is getting them to move into action. The biggest separation and divider between people who are super successful in network marketing and people that aren't are, you'll notice that people that are super successful in network marketing usually get off to a fast start. And usually when people get off to a fast start, they make a lot of money. And usually people that make a lot of money stick around for the long haul. So if you can get someone started and you get them paid quickly, the chances are you'll have a much higher likelihood of building a leader there. And if you take a look at that and you compare it to people who don't get started quickly, and you know what happens in those circumstances. And the reason why home parties are so important in this industry is the fact that it's the fastest way and the best way to get someone off to a good start. Because if you have a brand new person, they literally got started 3 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, an hour ago, a week ago, and they're brand new, maybe they haven't been involved in the industry before, they don't know what's going on, but if you can say, hey, let me ask you a question. Do you have some people in your life that loved you, trust you, and support you? And of course they do. I mean, most people on this planet have people that love them, trust them, and support them. And I'll say, look, let me ask you a question. Do you have some people that love you, trust you, and support you? And they'll say, yeah. And I'll say, great. Well, let me ask you another question. How much money do you want to make by next week? And if they say, well, I want to make $200, I'll say, you know what? We can absolutely get that done. You know what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and I want you to invite some of those people that love you, trust you, and support you over to your house this Thursday evening. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to practice on them. And we're going to show you step by step how this business actually works. That's what this business is all about. It's about getting to someone's sphere of influence before they're out of the business and they don't want to do it anymore. Because the faster you can get to someone's sphere of influence, the faster you can help them build a team and gather some customers, the more likelihood they're going to stick around for the long haul. So I want you to think about that for a moment. So once they said, yeah, they have some people that love them, support them, and trust them, and then they say how much money they want to make, first off, I want to make sure that it's reasonable. If they say something like, I want to make $10,000 by next week, I mean, it might be possible, but very unlikely, right? So I don't like to agree to things that aren't possible. So if they say something crazy, I'll bring them back down to reality. So that's super important. So I get them to agree to how much money they want to make. And then I ask them if, you have some people that love you, trust you, and support you. And I say, hey, can you bring them on over to your house so we can go ahead and practice on them? And if they agree to all those terms, we're in business. And the reason why this is important is because we're moving that new person into action. They got started 5 minutes ago. They're in action mode immediately. They are immediately starting to invite people that they know in their warm circle of influence, people that were going to be on their list, to their house. And the reason why inviting people to someone's home is so important and so effective is because of the fact that people are comfortable coming over to your house if they know you. A lot of people come to your house anyway for barbecues, for the big football game, for Super Bowl or soccer. So you think about home versus hotel presentation, the barrier to entry is a lot easier for your home. People are much more likely to come to your house than they are to go to a hotel business presentation. And it's easier to get someone to just come to your house by saying, hey, come on over. So what I want to do is I want to in-home schedule it immediately. So I'm with a brand new consultant. We're seeing eye to eye. They want to have their first in-home business presentation. So what we're going to do is we're going to invite some people to the in-home presentation on Thursday evening. And what I do is I usually have a nice little script that they can use. The script goes, hey, look, I don't have a lot of time to talk, but it's super important that I reach you. What are you doing Thursday evening? And a lot of times they'll say, well, nothing. Why? What's going on? And I'll say, look, I started a new project that's going to help me bring in some more money. And I just wanted to practice on some people that were close to me. And I know I could always count on you because you've always been super honest with me and you've always had great advice to give me. And I'd appreciate if you could just come on over Thursday evening and just support me. Can I count on your support on Thursday? And that's the invitation. And most people will say yes to that. And then after that, I'm just going to say, hey, great. Well, listen, if you can just go ahead and grab a bag of ice on the way over, I would most definitely appreciate that. And that's it. And now there are a couple of dynamics in that conversation that I want to go over. And the first thing I said was, hey, I don't have a lot of time to talk, but it was super important I reach you. When you say this sentence, what it does is it creates a sense of urgency. If you say, look, I don't have a lot of time to talk, I'm running out the door, but it was really important I reach you, it's a sense of urgency because they're not going to go ahead and hit you with a million questions right now that you have to go and answer because you don't want to end up in that valley of death. You really want a quick invitation. You don't want to spend an hour on the phone talking to them. This literally should take about 30, 45 seconds, a minute max. You're going over that, you're doing something wrong. And when I start the conversation with a sense of urgency, they're going to be much, much less likely to go ahead and bombard me with questions. And then what I'm going to say is, what are you doing Thursday evening? And what I did is, this is a technique where I'm actually opening up the time slot. You see, I didn't even tell them what's going on Thursday evening, or I didn't invite them yet, because I want to know that their Thursday evening's open first. Because if they go ahead and they tell me they have the kids' soccer game on Thursday, they're probably not going to miss that, and I'm probably not going to want to invite them if they have something big like that that's going on. And the next thing I did is it said, hey, I started a new project that's going to help me bring in some more money, and I just wanted to practice on some people that were close to me. So you're telling them why you need them to come on over to your house, the reasoning of why they're even coming over, the premise upon which they're making the decision to come on over to your house. And then I said, look, I know I can always count on you to be very honest with me, and you've always had great advice to give me, and I would appreciate if you would just come by Thursday night. And what I did there was I complimented them. I said, hey, look, I know you've always been very honest with me, you've always given me great advice, and it gives them a certain level to rise to. People will always rise to the occasion if you give them something to rise to. And then what I just end the conversation with is, hey, can you come on over Thursday? And they're going to say yes because you complimented them, you built urgency, they're not going to ask you a million questions, you told them why they need to come, and you kept it really simple. And what I do at the end of the conversation is I want to make sure I increase the ratio of the amount of people who go from, yes, I'm coming, to people that actually show up at your house. And the reason you do this is because you don't want people who cancel at the last minute and don't show up. Because you know what it's like when you plan an in-home business presentation for 10 people and you get one person that shows up. So what you want to do to increase the amount of people that actually show up at the business presentation is you want to say, hey, can you go ahead and grab a bag of ice, a bag of chips, some soda? I love ice because ice is super cheap, and you can always just stuff it in the freezer if you don't really need it. So it's really funny when you have an in-home business presentation and you have like 10 bags of ice, and there's no way obviously you're going to use all those bags of ice, but you can always stuff in the freezer, and hopefully you have enough space. But the importance of this is the fact that people feel that they need to show up because they have to bring the bag of ice, because everyone is dependent on them to bring the ice. Because in their mind, they're saying, oh my God, if I don't show up, everyone is going to have hot drinks. And nobody wants to be at fault for that. And they feel a sense of responsibility to show up and be there on time, more importantly. So these are some basic techniques on how to go from getting a brand new person started in the business, getting them initialized, getting them to agree to have a in-home business presentation, getting them to move into action immediately, how to actually go from them wanting a business presentation to actually scheduling one, and then how to actually invite people to get them to go and show up, most importantly. So this is Dr. Ryan teaching you exactly step by step how to go and get a brand new person started and get an in-home scheduled and how to get people there and get them to show up. And definitely on a future video show you how to actually do an in-home business presentation. So for everyone tuning in, Dr. Ryan here, super appreciative of everyone that got on today. I'd love to hear your comments. If there's a different way that you use to invite people to your in-homes, love to hear it down below. If there's something you liked about it, something you'd change, I'd love to hear that as well. I definitely read every comment down below, and I'll definitely respond to everybody as well, and I'll see you on the next video.